In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to arrange our new faux green gathered arrangement, which is kind of combines these incredible faux parrot tulips, which I'm just so obsessed with. The frill on the petals of these are incredible, and these kind of green feather-like streaks. So we've got 7 of those, so they're kind of like the focal flower, but to then add some sort of like movement and foliage with this, we're combining it with our lovely wild grass and then the green berry branch. So before we get onto the focal flowers, we're going to build our foliage base first. Now I'm using our hemmingstone vase for this. It's big enough so that it can take kind of the proportions of this arrangement, as well as having a nice, slightly narrower neck so it can hold everything in place nicely. So we've got 3 of our wild grass that we're just going to pop in to start building a bit of a base towards, so that we can start filling in that shape. And then we can start nestling in those lovely parrot tulips. So just bearing in mind the height proportions of all of these stems as you're going. But general rule of thumb is to keep them at around about 1.5 times the height of your vase, which our highest point will probably come from these green berry branches. So we've got 3 of these, and they're normally very kind of like upright structural stems. So I've just given them all a little bit more of like a bend and a wiggle, bringing some towards the front, moving some towards the back, just to make it feel really, really natural, because these are so lovely and like wild and whimsical. I don't mind a bit of a contrast, but just in the right kind of levels. So that one's going down there. We'll have one in the middle, about there, just kind of trying to measure that up against the edge of the island, which is always handy. Like so. And then this last one I'll have on this side slightly lower. We'll bend this one kind of as low as it goes really, actually, because you still get so much height from these lovely berries. I love this combination. It feels so light and summery and like almost meadowy, like you've just been and gathered some stems up from a beautiful meadow somewhere. So once you're happy with your shape of your foliage, we're then going to pop in our incredible faux parrot tulips. Now we've got 7 of these, so I've purposefully chosen an odd number so that it's going to help it feel less symmetrical and more natural. But it's really important that these don't go in all at exactly the same height, facing exactly the same direction or clumped up. And that's why we kind of do this first, so that it allows for breaks in between the tulips to really let them kind of naturally hang, and just, you know, bringing a couple of them a little bit lower down and having some of them facing completely upright. And all of a sudden, you've got something that feels much more natural and exactly as they would droop and lean and bend in your vase if they were real. So I'm going to get some tall ones in first, because what we want to do is almost create like an interlock of stems within the vase that are then going to help support each other. So I'm going to get one up at the back, leaning off that way, one through the middle, and one off to the side, over there. And then we can start bending some others to have them in varying heights and varying levels of droopiness, we'll say. This one maybe not bent so much. Now we definitely don't want to leave them too like that, so they've obviously just landed there. They're way too close together, so we just want to either, just move them so that they're not so close together and they're facing in different directions. I'm actually going to come around the front just to finish these last 2, because it gets very difficult for me to see as it's getting bigger and bigger in front of me. We can see a little bit of the middles. Yeah, happy with that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that kind of helps and maybe gives you a bit of confidence to arrange, and I'll see you guys soon.